about millennials and the creation of jobs, I mean, Joko Widodo created 10 million jobs in the last 4 years. He's now targeting 100 million jobs. It's not really the number, but the quality of jobs. Is that a fair assessment?
That's correct. I think being a country in Asia where digital economy is a major topic as everywhere in the world, but particularly in Asia, maybe because of demographics, we have 50% of our people are below 35. That means they are digital natives. And so we have to talk and include digital economy and all the aspects of that into the future planning. It means jobs that you were referring to are by and large impacted by that and sometimes even substituted by new jobs.
So that 100 million jobs, is that even realistic? And people say as well that Indonesia is actually behind the curve. I mean, you take a look at digital technology, automation, it's not even up to scratch.
Well, it depends how you view this. If you look, for instance, at the news report of McKinsey, there is a report that says that any country, the country that is fastest in terms of digitalization is actually in the world, yeah? Fastest is Indonesia, faster than India and faster than China. But what does it really mean, digitalization? Does it mean that people use their devices to update themselves, to chat, to buy and sell? Is that only that, or are there other things? But at least people are getting used to using and thinking digitally.
Can it help Indonesia leapfrog, and what does that mean for the economy?
Well, I think what we have seen here, the growth in the digital sector is enormous, and it might mean that certain parts of Indonesia will directly be leapfrogging into something related to the so-called mobile digital economy, right? So before, digital would mean you would use the computer and do everything from the computer, laptop, tablet, but how do Indonesians connect to the internet today? It's 90% of us through the mobile phone. So they have already leapfrogged a generation where people are using laptops and notebooks, right? So we see this already happening.
Ilham, talk to us about the challenges that Indonesia faces in making this leap to the fourth industrial revolution and having the right talent when the education system is not even revamped yet.
Okay, let's be very clear about one thing. If you talk fourth industrial revolution, that doesn't mean that every single sector in Indonesia needs to be fourth industrial revolution. Because there are companies which are world class, they need to consider that. Others, I think, before they jump into fully fourth revolution, they have to buy the machines, right? They have to do other things in order to bring it up to a certain speed, which is maybe not, you cannot mention it as fourth industrial revolution, but they will be also feeling that already. So it's a very complex situation where not all the economy is at the same level, but everybody is already impacted by what I call the digital economy, at least from the marketing side, from the information seeking side, from the processing side, yes, but sometimes the product itself is still not really there in terms of digital 4.0, but that, you know, it happens to any country, right? It's not just Indonesia.
What policies need to be adopted by?
Education is number one, is education. I mean, it has an impact on the curriculum, be it in the, say in the elementary, middle school, high school, or university, but there's also a very important aspect towards vocational training. So a worker today who works in the digital age needs to be aware about how to use data, how to use computers, how to worry about data security, etc., etc. These kind of things are originally maybe not included in most curricula that I know of, not even in other countries. This is something new for the world. How is the digital worker going to be educated to be at speed for the digital economy in the future?
Ilham, you're well plugged into the technology space, but the company is also a property developer, mainly in Indonesia, with ambitions to be present in the rest of Southeast Asia. How does the reappointment of Joko Widodo, when it's confirmed, impact the property sector?
Well, first of all, one thing is clear, that if President Joko Widodo would be fully acknowledged as being the winner of the election, then what it means for everybody, Indonesians and non-Indonesians, we have a continuity in the economic policy. President Joko Widodo has already declared that in the next 5 years, the emphasis will be more on human capital building, right? The first 5 years were infrastructure, physical infrastructure, now it's human capital. human capital is education, but it's also job training. So everything and job provision. So basically, this will be the emphasis of next 5 years. So the infrastructure that has been built, which is sort of like a precondition for these next 5 years, is already, I wouldn't say all there, but there has been a lot being achieved in the last 5 years. So continuity is a major point. Of course,
but for the property sector,
continuity is important, right? We need stability. I think for any sector, including property, but particularly property, because if you buy something, you own it for many years. You don't buy and sell. I mean, you keep it for most people, right?
So for your company, what are some of the expansion plans?
First of all, what we do right now is we focus on Batam, right? Batam is where we're...
Which is closest to Singapore.
Exactly, yeah. So it's basically something where the internationalization or international aspect of Pollux Habibie comes into place, because we see ourselves in an area which is already relatively international by nature. I mean, you have the synergy between Singapore, Batam, and I have to mention Johor Bahru as well as being the part of the triangle there.
Why is this a game changer?
For our project, it's a game changer because I think this type of project, we are talking about a very big, we call it super mega block on an area of 9 hectares with 8 apartment towers, 1 office, 1 hotel, 1 or 2 hospital towers. It's big, right? And we want to bring not only a big size, but also quality. The most important point for us is to bring high quality of life standard into Batam, which is maybe not seen at that level yet in Batam, right? Also, we mentioned economy 4.0, industry 4.0. Batam is by and large an industrial area, but the industrial area of the past, right? 4.0 is about to enter, meaning we will see more and more industries in Batam also embarking upon the journey to fully embrace 4.0, and so we have to do the same thing as property, right? So we have to be ready to offer a value add to our tenants, to our partners, to our visitors.
Other plans to replicate this?
Well, you know, we want to get this, sure, this will be an icon which we'll learn off and we'll replicate in other areas, but at the moment we are really focused on this as Pollux Habibie International.
Just one final question, Ilham,
sure.
Before we let you go. What do you view as the biggest challenge for your business?
Okay, in general, I think it's getting the right people on board. I mean, again, the human resource talents is scarce in this part of the world, everywhere. Also, the character of the talent. If we have good people on board, we really have to work well with them. There's so many opportunities for talent. They might just leave because they don't like the job or they don't like the business. So talent, I think it's a major part of our challenge in the future.